What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Faction After Hours podcast. My name is Carl, and I'm joined here by our co-hosts, Frankie Bovino, Chris Benzuela, and Malcolm.
Hey.
Malcolm's here tonight.
Yeah.
I made it in.
Here. Malcolm, who are you? Explain to the listeners who you are.
My name is Malcolm Wilson. I am a fellow employee here at Faction Motorsports. I handle the website work, social media, and other, odd jobs that Frankie doesn't want to do.
That was pretty accurate.
That was pretty accurate.
So basically Frankie 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can edit videos, which I
Yeah,
can't.
so
Can't
whenever
do
you're watching a YouTube video on the Faction Motorsports YouTube channel, which you guys should definitely check out if you haven't already, subscribe, turn on those notification bells, but Malcolm does those.
Yeah.
So a little applause for Malcolm. There you go.
Thank you.
that. Malcolm, you got to say anything about the videos to the people?
We're trying to crank them out about what? Two videos a week, one podcast a week.
But anything they need to do?
Oh yeah. If you're not already, please subscribe. Like the videos. Liking the videos definitely helps with the algorithm, trying to make it to the top, you feel me?
Yeah, because, if this doesn't work out, then
I'm gonna be on that unemployment line.
yeah, we're
real
putting them
soon.
back to the streets. So, please, if you want to help someone keep a job, make sure you like, share,
Yep.
subscribe, hit the bell notification.
Hitting that like helps a brother in need.
Literally. All right. Carl, what's the topic for today?
Today's episode, we are going to talk about everyone's favorite engine, the
Everyone?
SR20.
Everyone?
Everyone. Okay. I guess we're going to dive right into it then. Because
Well, you have a lot of questions to ask.
I got
right?
some notes.
You didn't write anything down.
There's some
you got it,
scribble.
you got it.
That
There's
was
some scribbling.
5 seconds ago.
You still wrote it down?
All right.
Years of doing my homework assignments in homeroom have trained me for this moment, Frankie.
So Carl hit me up. He said, "What are we going to do this week?" And he said, "SR20 God's motor?" question mark. And I said, "That engine sucks. So I don't know how much you want to talk about it."
I don't know.
And he was a little disappointed.
I don't really know. I wouldn't say they suck. Every engine has its Achilles heel, you know? But
They don't-
today, in
yeah,
today's
they don't
episode, we're going to talk about SRs, right? So, Frankie, off the top of your head, do you know what car is this SR20? Which is a 2.0 aluminum block, right? It's an aluminum block.
It's aluminum.
Turbocharged inline 4-cylinder.
Or banger.
What about it?
What do you know what other cars it comes in? Because there's a handful of them. I want to see which ones you know.
Nissan GTIR.
Pulsar.
GTIR.
Okay.
The regular Pulsar comes with the SR. Do you know?
I think it's a DE in that one.
So it's still an SR.
Still is
right?
it's still an SR. And for those who don't know, that comes in two variants. Actually, a couple of variants in turbocharged models, but there is a naturally aspirated one, the SR20DE, which Chris's car was originally powered by.
There's actually a lot of variants because the front-wheel drive ones are different blocks.
Are they?
Yeah.
I thought it was just variants in the water pump situation.
Wait, what about that? What about that van? Remember that van we saw at Nissan Day?
I know
It had
what
an
you're
SR20 in it.
What van?
What is that?
A van?
A van.
Like a Honda Odyssey?
No, but the engine was under the seat. Like there was a cover.
I don't know.
I think it was swapped.
For those of you listening or watching on the YouTube channel, let us know in the comments what van this is. Or if it is your van, talk to us.
Yeah, I was at a local car show at Englishtown, right? Yeah, remember last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a swap. I don't know, though. Maybe we do. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, Pulsars, Sentras.
Oh, Sentra SER.
Sentra SER, US side Sentra SER, comes with an SR20. It's a DE. That's actually how you get a lot of USDM parts on your JDM SR20, is by going to your local parts store and saying you have a Sentra SER. You remember that?
Yeah. What year? Early?
Like
early
90s? The B13?
You know, Chris.
The
I don't know this
B13
shit.
is the square looking one.
I have to look this up every time I order
B13,
parts.
B13 that had an SR20 DE. But aside from that, there is also
S13, S14,
S13, S14, S15. They all come in all types of flavors. But the one that obviously
you got the
we're
black top, you got the red top.
yeah, those are the ones we're gonna talk about here.
Oh,
Those are
there's a
all the
lot.
different types of tops,
Oh, brother.
There's a lot of them.
different kinds of top.
Let's start right now, Carl.
All right, red top. That's the very first variant.
What did it replace?
It was the very first rendition of the SR20.
What year did it come in?
89 to no? Is it not? Okay, there you go. Why don't
Well,
you?
are we just talking? We're just talking Sylvias and whatnot. We're not talking like
Pulsars?
Centras, right?
I don't
I'm
think.
not
I don't
talking
think.
about that.
I don't think we're gonna.
We
include
don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's chest.
Sylvia, 89 to 90 is a CA, 18. Yeah, you forgot.
Wow.
Then 91 and up.
I forgot about the
Is the
CA.
S1. That's
And
why I
what's-
was called a 180SX.
What's funny is
1.8.
prior to my SR swap on my old 240, I found a CA swap, and Chris was like, "Don't do it."
I think that would have been sick, personally. But
It sounds awesome. I mean,
In
the,
theory.
the variance is the difference is that I think it's an iron block. It's basically an RB short
it
of
an
2
iron
cylinders.
it is, right? It's like they call it a mini RB.
Mini RB, yeah.
That's what you
It
can
has
call
a very distinct sound compared to an SR. It's like super duper bright, and like just
It's
like,
got a timing belt, though, so you could throw it
does
right
it?
in the garbage.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, unfortunately. It doesn't have a lot of aftermarket support.
I don't think I've ever seen a CA before.
Have we had one in here?
No.
You guys haven't had
Never
a
had
CA
one?
CA in here, ever?
Wow. Are you sure?
We have one coming in a
Oh,
couple
we
weeks.
do have a.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe a little video on that. People
Probably
don't even
a lot of
really know
videos
that
on
that exists.
That's like a week. That's multiple week. That's a multiple week long project. Yeah. So
Dang. Okay. Well, everybody look out for that on the channel. It sounds like there's going to be some content on that. So
anyway, 1991.
91
Red top.
red top,
SR20.
and then they changed to the black top SR20, which
93 or 4.
that was a Type X one, I believe. Was
no,
it not?
No. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Red top. What is it?
Red top, black top.
Yeah, but ECU.
62.
62 ECU. That's the red top.
Okay.
Then you go black top, which is I think 93 or 94, and it's a E5.
Yes, sir.
E5 ECU.
Oh.
And then there's a late model black top, which is 95 and 97, or maybe 96 to 90.
That's a J4
98
ECU.
J4.
J4 ECU.
That's the one you want if you
Is
want it.
it?
If you want an S13.
Ironically
SR.
enough, that's what's in Chris's car.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a
that's-
J4 ECU
It's
car.
just the latest model, so it's gonna have the least amount of miles. And then you have a notch top, which
is S14.
when they changed the cylinder head and added the cam timing. Yeah.
Yep. And the valve cover, the difference there in the notch top, I think it's to offer better baffling, right?
Yeah, the baffling's inside the valve cover instead of outside of it, like on the S13. It's that little can on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what that can does, but it's inside the valve cover. It's definitely better. What else? You got cam timing, and you got a T28 on an S14.
Bigger turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is a journal bearing T28 in the S14.
Till S15? Yeah, I guess till the S15.
Is there only one variant of S14 SR?
I think there is, but I really don't know. I'm not like
I'm
as
almost
familiar with
positive
those.
there is no other one. It's just that one, I think.
Yeah, and then the S15 engine might have different sensors too. I don't know what the ECU codes are for those. Yeah,
I've rarely
we don't
seen
know.
an S15 SR, not gonna lie.
Well, it's because the S15 is OBD2.
Oh.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah,
You can't get away with half the things that you're getting away with.
but everyone loves those engines because they're like brand new, so they have lower miles.
And the difference in transmission you get with an S15 SR.
Yeah,
Not
you
that
get
you
6
have
speed.
to run that transmission, but it comes with a 6-speed originally.
So is the 6-speed weaker or no?
I heard that it's glass.
You
Yeah.
hear that, but isn't Adam LZ running that 6-speed in that green car?
Is he?
Pretty sure he is. That's what
I don't
Josh
know.
told me the other day. Malcolm, try to look that up if you can. His green car,
All right.
Adam LZ. Just see if you could find anything
Yeah,
on it. But
so
I'm pretty sure he is.
While
And,
Malcolm's looking that up.
it's
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I heard that those were glass. At least those are what everybody on the old Zilvia threads would be like, oh, 6-speed is got a glass second gear. Like,
yeah, I know that's the rumor, but I really don't know if it's true.
Yeah. Well, how much power is Adam LZ's car roughly making? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe around.
Got to be kind of fast.
would
It
say-
looked really fast at the past.
I'd say
at the
probably
past
300 to
event this
400
weekend.
at the wheel. judging by how he was driving with Tom in that video.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So what other? You have any questions about?
The S15 SR, there's not really any variances in the motor. It's just the turbo then that they're upgrading from the S14.
I wouldn't be so certain about that, but I don't know of any.
Maybe a better flowing head, maybe.
No, I wouldn't say that drastic, but there's probably different parts on it. There's probably different sensors.
I mean, a common denominator that I have a problem with and can't really understand the concept even when I had the SR is the configuration of what's in the head.
What
Because
do you
you can
mean?
pop things called rocker arms by banging limiter too much, but then you could get rocker arm stoppers, which hold them in
God.
there, but then you can break something else.
Chris is shaking his head. He
Chris
doesn't
is
like
shaking his
rockers.
head so much.
Rocker arm stopper is no go.
But what are some tips for those people that are, they have an SR and then they're driving around?
All right, I'm gonna give you the golden tip.
The golden tip. All right.
This is what has worked.
The
for
golden
me. The
tip?
golden tip,
Oh, jeez.
not the shaft. All right, so this is what has worked for
Very easy to say.
for us and the Front Street guys so far. Well, don't include Tom because he will break anything. But everyone else, and I think some of the guys in Connecticut too have done this. We just lowered our rev limit to 7,200 RPM, and we never threw a rocker arm.
Really?
I never threw one ever.
In your entirety of
I don't
SR,
think I don't think Josh has either.
72. What is it normally? 75?
75.
I'm shocked.
I just lowered it because I was like, oh, people throw rocker arms. Let me just lower this. And then on the Power FC, and then I don't know, I never had the problem. And I was like, okay. And then there was a thread once on Facebook, and someone was asking about rocker arm stoppers, and then people were commenting and talking about how they haven't thrown them or they have thrown them. And we realized the common denominator was everyone who hasn't thrown them was using a lower rev limit.
Interesting.
So I stick by that. Like,
Yeah, no, that sounds like it makes sense. Like,
it's not like
I
300
never thought of
RPM. 300 RPM isn't really going to do anything.
You're not going to feel that.
You're probably not going to make. You're probably not even making power above
At that
7,000.
point, yeah.
So, I mean, you could be depending on the setup.
I never thought of that. Chris, you knew he was going to say that?
Chris, what do you? How do you feel about rocker arm stoppers?
That's a no-go.
Why? Explain that shit.
If you're gonna pop a rocker arm, I'd rather not have a stopper in there because I'd rather the rocker arm to fall out of the way than stay in place and break.
Yeah, they get jammed up. If you have they either work or they don't, and if they don't work, they'll destroy the rocker arm, they'll destroy the rocker arm. They'll destroy possibly other things in the head.
You can.
It definitely can.
But if you don't have a rocker arm stopper, what happens is usually the rocker arm pops out and it has room to move around, and it just kind of stays away from the cam. But if you have a rocker arm stopper, it could get jammed and it could break. I mean, I've seen people take off their valve covers and just throw the rocker arm back in.
Really?
And then they drive the rest of the
They don't
night.
have any issues with clearancing the shims and stuff like that?
No, they just find the shims and
And slap them in?
slap them back in, and that's it. And they throw it back together, and they
Go
that's
back
it.
drifting.
Yeah. So I had them on my first SR probably just because I didn't know anything, and then I took them off. But I never threw a rocker arm anyway. So did you find out about that car?
I'm reading that he has a sequential in there.
I don't think he has a sequential in the green car.
Is it a different car?
I know his FD car probably has a sequential of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Samsonist, I think
I would
I
have to
read
go
it
through
with.
videos.
yeah, it's not easy to find out. But I think Adam LZ is running a 6-speed. You guys can let us know if that's true,
It may be a CD.
and let us know how much horsepower he's running too, because I'd like to know.
Might be a CD09. People do that on
I
SRs.
don't think it is.
Mazworks kit.
Which I know because Josh was thinking about running the 6-speed. Like he wants to try it. Because we got the Z32 transmissions, and we don't like them.
It's every problem in the Z32 with it being loud is amplified, but it's a good trans.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's just I don't really like the way it feels. The shifter's weird. Everything's weird.
Yeah, but all right. So the original motor in our US car is okay over here. We just talked a little bit about SRs, the Achilles heel of the SR, which is, everybody talks about rock arms, but really doesn't seem like that big of a concern. Go out there and drive it type of deal.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Some people have a lot of problems with those rocker arms.
Yeah. But
maybe just because it's stock ECU and they could also be like over boosting them, or I've seen wastegate lines blow, and they over rev. Once you over rev, that too. If you over rev,
the rockers
floating.
Yeah,
it's floating at that point. So, but
That's
yeah, I've seen
terrifying.
wastegate lines blow, people over boost, and then all of a sudden, the rocker arm flies off. So like anything could get it to go off. I've just never had it happen to me.
damn, we got lucky. Chris, remember that time we were test driving our car, and the wastegate line fell off, and all of a sudden we were hitting 24 pounds in a stock SR flying down Route 17.
It felt like a rocket.
It felt like a rocket
Yeah, I
ship.
had that happen to me once too. on Route
But the
17.
thing is it didn't break up or anything. It just it took it, and then we just went home. Like,
Yeah, it
yo,
it just detonated.
that wasn't supposed to do that. Like, hey, yo, it said 24. How much was it supposed to say? 10.
That's what the DET stands for, detonation.
But okay,
yeah.
so we talked about SRs, but I want to know what your thoughts are on KATs.
Whoa, that's another video. That's another podcast.
Is it?
Yeah, it is, but they're fine, I guess.
Because okay, obviously, with the rising price nowadays, I don't really know. I haven't looked into it. What it would cost nowadays to switch your KA over to a turbocharged KA.
I think if you bought a 240 and it has a running KA in it, you should probably stick with that.
just leave it, right?
If you're trying to save money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I drifted a dual cam KA for a little while.
Well, I'm saying you could turbo it too and probably still save money.
Yeah. Oh, you think so? Over going
Yeah,
SR?
Chris doesn't agree with me probably, but
I have a thing about turbocharging something that wasn't originally turbocharged.
yeah, I think he
Because it
does,
didn't
too.
come like that. So it's obviously not meant to run that way.
Well, it'll run for a bit. You know. Well, it depends on what you do with the car. You know, if you abuse the car, then it's probably not going to work out. But if you treat it right, those internals are pretty strong. So, but that's not the engine that we're talking about, Carl.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to know. Sheesh.
Little
Gosh.
insight.
For a basic SR20. Moving on, because you don't like KATs. Ooh, KATs make Frankie mad. Ooh.
Basic SR20. What are we doing?
Basic SR20, because not everybody here is going to have some sort of wicked build in their thing. Like, I hate when people think that you need to go that way. Like, you
Okay,
need
this
to build
is
it,
this
right?
is what the steps you take when you get an SR.
The first steps you take when you get an SR.
Okay, step 1.
Put it in the garbage.
No. No. Step 1. Get a TD bank pen. I'm kidding. This is what we used to do. We get the TD bank pen, and we open it up. We take the spring out.
And you hold the
get a-
dipstick down.
No, we get a valve from Home Depot. We put an airsoft BB in there, and that's the boost controller.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that was the boost controller.
MacGyver.
Yeah, sheesh.
And the
I'm
more
actually
the more
kind
you
of
tighten the
impressed.
valve, the more boost you'd get, and the looser it is, the more that would open up. This shit worked.
I don't really know what to say.
gotta see it in action.
Yeah,
It
I
worked.
gotta see that in action.
It worked, but you'd be better off with a metal BB, because once the airsoft BB melts, it's gonna be a bad time. It's gonna be fun for a minute, but
Jeez.
anyway, yeah. Get a boost controller. Well, step 1 is just drive the car with the SR. Make sure it's not knocking. 'cause
Plain
they
Jane. And
usually do
stock
that.
SRs come at what? 7 psi? Is
Yeah,
7
wastegate
PSI
is
stock wastegate
7, right?
pressure.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing is, I don't think everybody's driving the SR20 in stock form. They're just getting the motor. So, what bolt-ons are we doing? I think that would be the first step.
I wouldn't do shit.
I'm with the boost controller because I had an SR20 and I had it at 10 pounds.
But what I'm saying
It's
is,
beautiful.
let's say you go to like an engine depot, right?
Uh-huh.
You're not getting a front mount. You're not always getting a side mount in a cooler.
Well, yeah.
You're not getting a full exhaust.
Okay.
A front mount's a
Okay.
given, I figured.
So you're saying right from a long block, just a long block, not a kit where you're buying it and it comes with a bunch of stuff. A long block,
Well,
You're saying a front
complete
mount.
long block, yeah.
that side mount gets heat soaked so fast.
No one's using that side mount.
People in Japan do all the time.
No one's using that side mount when
Yes,
a
they-
CX Racing front mount kit is $100 on eBay. It's not $100 anymore. But
It is not
it's
$100
probably,
anymore.
It's probably $250.
On the IS, brief tangent here, but on the IS, I looked up a turbo kit. They used to be $1,000. It's 2 now.
Wait, what? What is this?
A turbo kit, a CX Racing turbo kit for the IS, the 2JZGE used to be $1,000.
Well, everything's going up.
It's crazy.
But yeah,
Highway
a front mount,
robbery.
obviously, you put a front mount. I mean, usually, okay, when we started this, we would get an SR from a depot.
Yeah.
You put it in. You get the CX Racing front mount kit. That was like standard procedure. You get you use a stock intake with a filter on the MAF.
The little rubber one.
You change like 4 wires. Get that shit to run, and then you go get that TD Bank pen. no, I mean, well, what is it now? No, it's TD Bank. Yeah, it used to be Commerce Bank.
Commerce.
You're showing your age here, Frankie.
But
Some of these listeners don't even know what that is.
dude, that valve worked, man. I go make one right now. That should be a video.
Maybe a future video.
Anyway, you put that on, crank it up to 12, you're good.
12?
Hell yeah, go drifting. 10 to 12.
That's the limit.
Yeah, the turbo's not gonna do
Yeah,
anything else
no,
after that.
because I think that is the cap. I had it at 10 for a reason, I
No,
think.
12 is a sweet spot.
Is
You
it?
can go up to 14.
Oh,
Okay, but let's
14
give
is
everyone a
the sweet
warning. You should probably buy a air fuel ratio gauge, which we definitely did not do. So
Yeah.
you should definitely do that
Yeah.
because you're probably gonna find out it's running really lean.
Nor should you use this as a verbatim guide. This is all at your own risk.
Yeah, we're just
Gotta
talking
put that
shit.
in there. We're just a bunch of guys messing around.
But I'm just telling you what we did. Anyway, yeah, raise the boost up, go drifting. Go, obviously a fuel pump. Gotta put a fuel pump.
Walbro 255.
Yeah. Which
That's
you can
good
get
enough.
At Faction Motorsports.
Yeah, you could get that.
And then that's it. That's step 1. And then you drive like that.
Yeah, that's plenty.
You check your oil.
Stock manifold, leave it stock.
Yeah.
I think the only thing about the stock manifold is it has that like flat end exhaust note that an SR is
Yeah,
known
Chris
for.
Chris hates it. He gets so
I hate
upset.
it. Me and Chris are both on the same page on this because we both ran tubular ones, but they crack and it sucks.
Yeah.
So if you can live with the sound, just run the stock one. In my
I ran
opinion.
a stock one forever.
What do you have to say on that?
There's a hack.
There's a hack.
Oh, here we go.
What's the hack?
You already know because I say it all the time to our SR customers. PBM downpipe.
That way it makes it sound good.
No, I mean if you get a tubular manifold, you need the PBM downpipe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it doesn't put too much stress on the manifold.
But that's not the only other piece. You also need the trans mount bushing.
Well, all your exhaust bushings.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
What,
But-
like the little rubber thing?
He's saying basically the manifolds break because the exhaust systems are usually one piece,
And there's a
they're-
lot of vibration.
And someone usually got like a clothes hanger holding it up, or like a belt.
I use a worm clamp.
Some zip ties, and then everyone's like, I don't know why my exhaust manifold cracked. How did this happen to me? And then you look at the exhaust system and it's held up with bubble gum and duct tape. And you're like, well, maybe that's the problem. Literally, your whole exhaust system is just bouncing up and down, and the flex point is the manifold.
Yeah.
That's made out of shit steel from China. So, yeah, putting a flex pipe in the system would definitely help with the manifolds. I don't think it's going to cure everything, but
Yeah.
eventually,
I mean, if Chris is saying
Eventually it might
PBM
crack.
downpipe, the Cobra downpipe, we're specifically the Cobra downpipe. I hope to our listeners out there, that's what we're talking about.
yeah, because it has a flex pipe.
It's
I
a
don't know too
one
many other ones
piece
that do.
instead of it being 2 pieces with an elbow connecting to the actual downpipe. It's 1 piece.
Yep.
It looks like a Cobra.
Yeah, it's a snake.
Snake in my boot.
Watch out for that snake. Yeah, so I don't know. That part is really good.
I think an exhaust. I had a stock exhaust. Well, we're gonna kind of assume that you had that already. The
An
exhaust.
exhaust?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta get that eBay can. You know,
Got it.
$150. That's it. That's what I would do. I got the 100
I think that's actually still $150.
That's
It's
the starter
sub
kit.
$200.
eBay intercooler, eBay exhaust, Walbro fuel pump.
Spend your money wisely too, because that fuel pump. Don't buy an eBay one,
You're gonna smash that exhaust on a curb anyway. So
Yeah.
don't even worry about it.
and it's gonna look super JDM when you're done.
Yeah, and then once that one's totaled and you know what you're doing, then you get a good one. That's what I would do.
But the spend your money wisely on the parts. So like that Walbro fuel pump, an actual
Yeah,
name
pe-
brand one from Faction.
Yeah, I don't want to talk shit on this podcast, but I'm gonna talk shit on this podcast. Don't buy an ISR fuel pump.
ISR fuel pump.
Yeah, don't buy that.
I mean,
Let me
it's not-
rephrase that. Don't buy anything electrical.
I've actually ISR maps suck,
Yes.
and now that we're on the topic, it's
We've
just
had
because I had a friend
we've
Chase.
had many complaints.
Yeah.
We've had many returns. I try not to put a lot of the electrical stuff on the website, but some of it ends up on there anyway because everyone wants to buy it.
But now we're not bashing the whole company as a whole, just the electronic parts.
No, yeah, I mean,
I've
they have a
used
lot of
some
cheap parts that
ISR.
are good to.
Yeah,
I mean, I probably used a lot of their shit too when I was building my.
I used
Back when it was
their
ISIS.
arms. I had their caster arms.
Yeah.
It was. No, we're not going to say the name. Did you already say the
I
name?
already said it.
You're ISIS.
Are we gonna get flagged now?
I don't know.
It's a terrorist organization.
That's fine.
But yeah, the arm. Yeah, the arms. Oh, I had those arms for like 5 years.
They were great.
Yeah,
I
you
had,
just-
mine were fine.
Every winter, just spray a little WD-40 on the joints so they don't squeak, and you're good to go for like another summer. I have some questions for you, Carl.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you like the SR20 engine?
Okay.
What was this, Carl?
Wow. That is a good question. And I'm going to tell you straight up the most plain Jane answer ever.
Let's hear it.
It's the feeling that it gives you. I swear to you, I shit you not. The SR has this sound, and after driving a couple other cars after owning the SR, okay, it has this sound that is very notable. It's like this nasally, like high pitched.
Can you give me a good example? of
quick revving? Oh, you want me to do an SR
it?
sound?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, hold on. That's you on grid. That's you on grid. Waiting to go.
What, like revving it?
Yeah,
Like,
you're just
okay.
blipping the throttle for no reason because
Alright.
that's what SR people do.
All right, then they tell you to go.
And then they tell you to go, and you're and it makes this like opening sound, and it's just like this weird. You don't get it from anywhere else. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. I take tips.
You know what? You know what I notice about all SR people?
Hmm.
We drive our SRs like we drive Hondas.
So accurate.
I mean, 4 bangers.
Chris, you drive every car like it's a Honda. That's all we hear at the shop. Me and Malcolm just look at. Why is he revving that thing so much?
Crispy pulling in the driveway.
Mind you, the lift is 4 feet from the door. It's true though. Malcolm just looks at. Why does he drive every car like that? Hey man, I don't know.
It's just
That's
it
his
has
style.
this weird response, like in the Jay Z. Okay, should I do a Jay Z noise?
Yeah, let's hear
in
it.
the Jay Z when you rev it instead of like that, like you get like a.
Oh wow, that was good.
Oh.
Sounds like a freaking. No, not good.
Talk to him.
You feel me? But no, it's just
Sound
like,
like an old man getting up.
that's exactly what it sounds like. But it revs so slow, and I don't know if it has to do with the VVTi or like the fact that it's just a bigger motor, longer crank, more stuff spinning around.
A lot of pistons spinning around.
A lot of
in there.
pistones,
Yeah.
but so the SR just has that sound, and even in stock form, fast as fuck.
He's fast as fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck. That you do not need any more than that. In stock form, you're making what, like 200? You think?
Yeah, like 130. No, yeah.
130.
I mean, I don't know. Stock form? I don't know. I never ran stock form. That's some bitch shit.
I
put
had-
that TD bank pen in there, and then when you're talking
You're
like,
talking. You're
Yeah.
talking 210.
yeah, you're talking 220, baby. Yeah,
Pippin' on fofo.
that's what's up. 7 psi? I don't know. We have done some SR swaps where 7 psi felt like 300 horsepower though.
What?
Some of those, most of the engines you get are clapped out, man. Those things are so bad.
So, why, that's something you got to incorporate now. That's step one isn't even buying an eBay intercooler, and if it is, that you need to reevaluate your life because you need to refresh this thing.
Nah, no one's refreshing those things. Just throw it in.
What?
I mean, you should.
The
But no one's
gasket
done
kit
it.
comes complete. The OEM one.
Yeah, but you're not doing piston rings.
No.
But that's what you need,
Is it?
probably. And now they're getting the engines from what? Like, I don't even know where they're getting them from.
Russia.
They're probably getting them from
Russia.
Russia.
No, or like
don't know.
the UK. Wherever they had
Podcast is getting
SR20.
flagged.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're genuine peeps.
All right,
Yeah.
another question for you.
Okay.
Well, that was a good enough. So you like the noise? You
I like the
power.
noise. I like the power delivery. It's just the right amount for using it on an everyday basis. You could have it in stock form with AC. You can have it
Yeah, it's not hard
with
to set the
VVTi.
AC up.
Yeah, it's really not.
Yeah.
And I hate when I see a car that has AC and then somebody clearly took it off, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why? What are you gonna save? Like 3 pounds?
That was all of us. But yeah,
Is it?
probably.
Why?
You
Like-
didn't, but your car. You have a Sylvia. That don't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count. the feeling. It's just a great feeling. All right.
So my next question was, how was your SR20 experience, and did you do the swap?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
No, but so we're gonna start with how was my experience. It was great. I used to go to school around 2 hours away from where I live now, or my parents' house, and I was commuting that thing every weekend, 4 months, back and forth, 2 hours one way, 2 hours back up the next day, just to work on the car with Chris. Amazing. When we had this thing first, we only had 4 gears. The 5th gear in this SR Trans, 5th, dude. How do you blow out 5th gear?
I don't know.
I don't know. But 5th gear was blown, so I was driving it around 1, 2, 3, 4 on the turnpike.
Oh,
my
God.
Okay.
And this thing was great. It was kicking. It was fine.
Screaming.
It was screaming
5,000 RPM all
a
the way
little
home.
bit, but the experience was great. I turned on almost every day. I'm gonna say almost, just because, there are days.
There are days when what?
There are days where you gotta unplug the battery, then put it back on, then you gotta hit the starter, then you gotta roll it down your driveway, which is a hill, and pop it in first,
Okay.
all by yourself.
Sounded like you needed a battery, but okay. What
It's
else?
not, probably a battery, but I mean, I was a kid back then. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Gotta be the
And
alternator.
and when I did the swap, I'm gonna say we did the swap because the person who helped me the most is actually sitting with us here right now, and that's Chris.
Yep. Yep.
Chris and I got this motor for $2,700. It came with a bunch of stuff, so unlike getting it from the depot, I went a different route and got it from Craigslist at the time. The guy sent me compression test numbers. They were spot on. It came with a front mount. It came with a spare diff. It came with a wiring specialties harness for an S14. And came with the turbo, the manifold, a bunch of other little bits and bobs, little things.
That's a good story about the harness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is a good story. The harness I sold, I sold off the things that I didn't need. The harness, I actually sold it to a police officer in Jersey City who was
Okay.
building an SR. I thought that was pretty cool. But we did it ourselves. I actually went with the wiring specialties harness, the conversion harness, 62 ECU, because I didn't really have anything weird. And
What's so funny, Malcolm?
what's
You
so
wanna tell the class?
what's so funny?
SR from sold to a cop. Like, I'm just thinking SR means stop resisting.
Get flagged.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
back to your story.
You're
Carl.
not coming back on the podcast. But we use the conversion harness, stock math, stock ECU. I can't stress enough how much I wanted to do the stock stuff only, because I did not want any hiccups. Stock turbo.
Yeah, a lot of people go that way.
10 psi is what I had mine at, not 12.
That's fine.
I had an exhaust, front mount, just the basic stuff. Fuel pump upgraded. And it had a tubular manifold, and that thing was sweet, dude. It dropped right in. I remember we dropped it right in. You don't need like weird, funky adapter mounts. SR drops right into an S13 chassis.
That's the car it belongs in.
That's the motor it should have came in.
Yep.
Came with. And yeah, everything
I
plugged
gonna
up
say?
and it was great.
So you guys did the swap.
Yeah. And we did a refresh. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Remember
you did?
when you said just throw that in there, man?
Throw that shit in there.
Chris rebuilt that thing. It was bare bones.
He didn't rebuild it.
We
He
did.
changed some gaskets.
I had it fully apart.
We did the head
pistons
gasket,
out?
decked the head and block.
What?
Yeah, whole thing.
Oh,
Chris did.
I was there. I
Chris
remember.
did the whole thing.
Way too much work.
I was literally on a cruise in the Bahamas, and Chris was at my house.
Well, initially it first started with the, what was it? You had an oil pump noise.
Yeah, I did have an oil pump noise.
Yeah, every time it got warm, the noise would go away.
Yeah. So the initial question was, what do we do now? Like, do we split it up? Because I got to do a oil pump, which is the front timing cover on the SR20.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy. Check out the video on Faction Motorsports. They show a good clip of what it looks like.
Yeah, the
And
last video.
you need to deck the head with that timing cover.
Yeah.
Some people get away with just smacking it on there, but honestly, my kind of luck, that thing wasn't going to run right after we put it back together if we did that. So
So
we,
what was
we
wrong with the oil pump?
it was just shot. But after we did that, car was awesome. S14 oil pickup. I don't know if people know this, but the S14 oil pickup has a little design difference from the S13 oil pickup, and the S14 one has a wider mouth.
That's all they sell now too, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's if you order one, that's what you're getting.
That
Pretty
thing was
sure.
so awesome, man. I
Yeah?
miss that thing.
You miss it?
I do, but
Should've sold it.
I
All right,
love
next
the.
question.
I hate you so much.
How was the reliability?
That was. I think I stressed that enough. That
Yeah, it was good.
that thing
It
was
worked.
reliable as hell.
Yep. Redlining that shit, fourth gear all the way
I
home.
would for what?
Fourth gear, that's all you had.
Fourth gear? Not yet. No, but I mean, we picked up another trans, $150 back then. Slapped it back
Oh
together.
yeah, what year did you do this?
This was 2017, 18, 2017, something like that.
Okay.
4 years ago. Crazy, dude, how time flies.
2017, you said?
2018, yeah. 2017, 2018.
It's a good looking car.
It was a good looking car.
And what happened to it?
I decided I needed to, I was,
He grew up, he got more mature, so he bought a Aventador, right? That's what it was?
Yep.
Lamborghini, yep.
No, I actually bought a pirate ship. No, I thought I wanted a break from cars, and then, as many of you know, if you're really into it, you're not escaping it.
You're not escaping. It'll pull you back in.
It will suck you back in. Yeah, I'll buy this daily. Yeah, we'll just get these coilovers.
Not gonna do anything crazy.
Not gonna do anything crazy except
This
for
is
drift
just my
it.
daily. And
But
then
yeah,
and
that
then
thing
you're
was
looking for
awesome. I
wheels.
sold it though. That was
Sold it to Derek on the bicycle.
Derek on the bicycle, man.
He was the one that got it after you.
Yeah, he drove the crap out of that thing.
He
man.
drove the shit out of that car.
Yep.
Yeah.
clapped the fuck out of it.
I heard it was still. I heard the engine was still good.
Is it?
It was good. It was good still.
Why'd he get rid of
I
that
think
car?
there was. I think he stripped something out of it. The feed line.
Oh, the turbo.
The turbo oil feed line. So you're done. You're bunk.
Yeah.
Motor's bunk.
Motor's bunk.
Well, I was gonna ask you if you blew your engine up, but that's obvious you didn't do
I
that.
did not. I did not.
Any thoughts on why people blow these engines up all the time?
They fucking throw 15 psi at it
With a TD bank pen?
with a TD bank pen and no other upgrades.
And go to Club Loose C Group and just hot lap
Nah, they're
with
doing,
no AFR gauge.
They're doing pulls.
But really, that is the reason why, though. They go to the track. They put a boost controller on it. They don't have an AFR gauge. They don't check their oil. It blows up, and they buy a Toyota. That's how it goes. That's literally how it goes.
Okay. Minus the blowing up part, pretty accurate, but
Dude, people blew those things up all the time.
that is, I feel like everybody on the pages, that's always their complaint. They're like, how much, what's the limit to the PSI? You know?
The engine is weak. Those engines are glass. I can't use them.
That's
I
not
need a
what I need.
JZ or LS1.
Get yourself a man's motor.
Meanwhile, you could have just checked the oil once, and you probably would have been good, but get an AFR gauge and check your oil. And use the right oil. Don't put,
It requires 5W30, but I'm going to run that at a 100-degree track for 5 hours straight.
it's not going to work,
Is it
guys.
530? I've used 540 in mine, I think.
I'm pretty sure it's 530.
540 because
530 is probably what it calls for.
yeah, I
You should
used
be putting
540.
You should be putting 1040 in that thing minimum.
I know people on
2050.
Hate to break, 2050
Yeah.
VR1.
If you're gonna go to the track and overheat the engine, you gotta use the right oil.
You think 2050 is necessary though?
No, I don't. But
That's
some
kind of
people
high.
1040.
do. It depends on how much abuse.
You're putting
it's-
Aunt Jemima's in your engine.
Well, here's another pro tip. Don't drive the car when it's hot. I can only give you.
What do you mean, like temperature wise outside?
Yeah, do not the coolant. No, the
Oh.
coolant.
Oh, yeah.
When it's hot,
What?
you need to stop.
Yeah.
But did you have a water temp gauge?
I overheated it one
What do you mean
time.
overheated it? What happened?
My fan switch. I was like a dummy. I was running an E fan temporarily.
Yeah, because we all
Clutch
that's another
fan
pro tip.
all the way.
You got to run a clutch fan.
Clutch
guys.
fan all the way. You guys sell those here too, right?
Yeah, we sell the whole clutch fan assembly, but people, I forget. There's probably like newbies listening to this. Yeah, guys, you got to stop with the electric fans. I'm pretty sure that's already like common knowledge, but we see some SRs.
I see them all the time, and they're like, yeah, I got these two. What's a SPAL?
It's a fan brand.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah,
I got these two SPAL fans.
Yeah, the fans are great in theory until your wire breaks.
Yeah, it's like the clutch fan is just tried, true, and tested. It came with the car. Like you're not running like a gajillion horsepower.
Yeah, that was the thing at Club Lewis. It was always everyone will always tell you, just get rid of those fans, get the clutch fan, get the clutch fan.
And it's always
Like,
spinning.
it's always going to work until it seizes, and then it still works. So,
Yeah, it'll still spin.
Yeah, it's just going to be spinning faster. So,
Unless you have a dented hood and the fan gets stuck on it, like Frankie in the Holland.
is that what... My fan got... Something got sucked into my fan once, and it threw it at the radiator, and it cracked the radiator at the track. But, yeah.
Yeah, don't throw a
What were we
ludicrous amount of boost at it.
What were we talking about before we did this?
Turbo. Like what, like, you know,
Oh, because
What-
people blow them up.
the people are blowing them up, dude.
Oh, the coolant temp.
Coolant temp, yes.
Yeah, don't run
Don't
them
drive it
hot.
when it's hot.
The only time my engine popped at the track was when I was running it way too hot. I remember looking at the gauge and I was like, I should stop. And I didn't.
What? You saw it and you just kept going?
Josh DeLees was running with me and he looked fine, so
You jump off of a cliff, Frankie. Are you
I'm
gonna
coming
jump?
with you. I was like,
Okay,
he's
well-
got an SR2, so we should be fine. I was
His
wrong.
SR's fans are working.
But yeah, so I don't know. Just don't run it hot. I can't tell you what hot is in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius, I would stop around 90 degrees Celsius, which is actually pretty hot,
That's high.
right?
Yeah.
Let's see what that is.
I think a standard thermostat opens at like 80 something.
Well, just to mention about overheating, you're overheating. Remember when your coolant line broke
On the turbo.
on the turbo?
The coolant feed.
And if you guys watched the T28 turbo install, when I talk about the coolant line that's putting too much stress, if you don't change it to a 45 degree AN, it's exactly what happened to Carl because it was too much stress when the engine is shaking.
So what happened? It blew or it collapsed?
it ripped.
Oh,
Yeah, the AN line ripped. I think
so
what
you were
we
just
did.
pissing coolant out.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I think what was our fix for that? So my red top SR had clearly the SRs have different variances between them. One minor difference between the S14 and 13 is the water necks are different. The water neck on an S14 SR has a little bung for the coolant feed to the turbo, which that's the line that was leaking on my car, so we just deleted it.
And you did
The turbo is now only oil cooled.
Oh, yeah.
That's one way to do it.
It is. It honestly worked amazing.
Yeah, it works. I mean, the coolant's like, it's not completely necessary, but I would run it if the turbo calls for it.
If it's
I would run
working, sure. I mean, we were just kids, and I had no money. I mean, I still have no money.
it. The coolant also helps cool down the turbo or exchange the heat after the car is off. Which, if you have an
Oh.
oil-only turbo,
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I would leave it on before I would turn it off all the time.
yeah,
because I didn't have a turbo timer.
I mean, that's what a turbo timer.
That's
is
what
for.
a turbo timer is for.
But if you have coolant running through it and it's a stock setup, you kind of don't need it. But if it's an oil-only setup, I guess I would run a turbo timer or leave the car running. Obviously, after you're doing excessive driving,
I feel like you would
not
just leave
driving
it.
normal.
Yeah.
90 degrees Celsius is 194 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to go with 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You should probably stop driving the car and let it cool down.
Yeah.
Because
And-
my SR at like running temperature was like 170 Fahrenheit. It would run at like 75 degrees Celsius.
Hey, damn, man, you're so cool.
Yeah, literally though, it's kind of cool. Like I don't know why it's so or 80 degrees. No, it was. I remember seeing 70. So I had my Power FC. It started like. I think it started like pulling timing when it would get over 90 degrees. Or
Really?
something. I had it like set up to do certain things.
You can do that?
Yeah,
I never had a Power FC.
and then, but it would only like. So the car would get a little bit slower after 90 degrees Celsius. But I remember on that day it was high 90s or 100 degrees Celsius. So it's over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's when it detonated like crazy. So yeah.
Do you have any more questions for me, Frankie? Because I got a question for you.
No, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Just to clarify why we deleted the coolant lines, at that time when we did Carl's SR swap, T25s were very easily available.
Yeah, that was another thing.
And my theory was
If it
we
goes,
we stopped running coolant because it's just making your coolant run hotter going through the turbo because technically it's on the exhaust.
yeah,
So
the
Yeah,
the
it
logic was
probably
there.
is.
But I
that's
mean,
the
if it's
point.
on your car and it's working, just don't touch it.
That's the point of the coolant. It's just a heat exchanger at that point.
Yeah, you cannot delete the oil. Don't think you could run that one without the other. Don't don't. You can only delete the coolant one. I do not think you could delete the oil feed on a turbo.
No,
That's ludicrous.
It's
and
gonna seize up.
It will seize up.
Coolant in this turbo, right?
I don't know.
The top mount?
It's a G25. I don't know if they do that. I think they do. Most turbos, I don't want to say most, but a lot of turbos still run coolant lines. I think a lot of Garrett turbos run coolant lines.
But the bigger ones, they're just oil cooled.
It depends on the brand.
Borg Warner likes to run just oil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some of those turbos are definitely oil.
I don't know how to look at turbos and be like, oh yeah, that's a GTX 55.
Neither
50,
do
50,
I.
50.
And
I don't know what any of those
performance
numbers
also.
mean, man. I'm like T28, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's too many turbos out there.
And I know that 62 is a sizable turbo.
Yeah,
I guess that means 60 trim.
precision.
You're talking precision turbos.
That's the numbers mean like a brand.
Well, those numbers do,
Oh,
because
damn.
that's the.
Okay. Well,
turbo.
whatever.
It's confusing.
My question to you, Frankie, is:
Oh boy.
so you just talked about what you used to do before. You can drift without it being super done up. What made you want to do the HKS stroker that you're doing now?
Oh, before we get to that, we should probably talk about, because that was step one. Remember the boost
Oh.
controller.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So let's talk about what you went after that.
Yeah, I would say the next step would be get a T28 turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say just buy a brand new one, Spec R. They're on our website. I think we have a pretty good price on those. We try to be competitive with the market, but that would be the turbo to get.
That's awesome. They're new.
Yeah, brand new.
That's awesome. What?
Yeah, so it's a dual ball bearing, spools faster for sure. I remember that when I put one on.
Now, were you running that with a stock ECU?
No, I had a Power FC.
Okay.
You need to tune. I mean, you don't have to tune, but you probably should.
You
if
probably
you want the
should.
most out of the turbo, because you're gonna need to get injectors. You know, I mean, if you're talking like a turbo that doesn't come with a S15
Okay.
turbo.
So I had this. If I still had the SR, the route everyone goes right. You upgrade the fuel. So I think everybody did 550cc injectors back then.
550 or 750.
550 or 750.
Nowadays it's 750.
It's 750.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would upgrade the injectors. You already have the fuel pump. You get the Power FC
Or any standalone.
or
but
any
yeah.
standalone, because now there's tons of different options you could go with, right?
Yeah, we
I
like
like the
Power
Power
FC
FC because you got the little commander.
You got the Commander, and I don't know, it's just old school. It's not crazy, and more importantly, you have the Commander. Like you could do a decent amount with that thing.
What could you do on there? Like, give me something you could do on there. I
mean,
never had
There's
one.
plenty
again.
of diagnostic stuff you can do on there. You can look at gauges. You can look at you can have a boost controller set up on there with 4 different boost settings.
If you had an electronic one, like a
If
Boost
you
solenoid
get the
one.
Apexi boost controller,
Yeah.
it all connects to it. What else can you do on that thing? I mean, you can literally edit the fuel map and ignition map on there. You don't
On the
want
fly?
to. Yeah, you can. It's not fun, but you can do it. There's other little things here and there. It's just, but I just like having the option to do that.
Yeah.
With anything else, you need a laptop. You know, you need everything hooked up.
So you upgrade the fuel, and then why? How come like back then, in all of the older threads, right? Because this is the formula, right? You upgrade the fuel. We covered that. The standalone, the computer. But what about like the MAF? How come people ran a Z32 MAF?
Yeah, you need a Z32 MAF over. Do you know when you should need that?
Over what, like
I'd say
300
if you're
horsepower?
if you're aiming for 300, you probably need a Z32 MAF. Yeah.
Because you could just tune for a wider range or something.
Yeah, it doesn't. The stock one isn't gonna flow or something enough. I don't even know how it works. We don't know how it works, but that stock map's
But
not
that
gonna
formula right there alone, you're pushing a fair amount of power in a car that weighs
work. You could use a Z32 MAF up till
high, whenever.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Probably over 700 horsepower.
But what I'm saying is with the turbo, the injectors, the fuel pump, your exhaust setup from stage 1, and a tune from a reputable place.
300 to 340 horsepower. maybe?
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Maybe
was
not
that was
high,
was
but
that where you were going with your stage 2, second stage?
Mine was around 300. I think it was a little less, but I didn't max the turbo out. I ran like 16 pounds of boost.
Were you tuning it yourself?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Dave from Toge Factory did a remote tune on that thing. That was the last tune it had, and it ran great. So that was.
Remote.
Don't
tuning.
bother asking him because he's probably not going to do it.
When
but
was this?
2015. I don't know, 16, 15, 16 maybe.
Doing remote tuning? That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I had like a bass tune from some shop. It wasn't great.
Off the shelf, like type of thing?
No, they tuned it, but I wasn't happy. And then I had a data logit, which is like the program or the piece of hardware you need to use your computer with it. So I could download the map and everything. And I sent him a data log, and then he changed some stuff, sent me a map, did another one.
Again.
We did it like 5 times, and then that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a really smart guy, man. So
That's awesome.
yeah, he made it work.
Shout out to Dave.
Now we're going to Freedom Motorsports for our tunes for
I was
Power
gonna
FC.
ask, yeah.
Yeah, Andy is down there and he's doing all of them. We just had AJ's car done, and AJ's car is that exact setup.
Is it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
It has a map setup, not a Z32 map.
Okay.
That's it.
Which is a common thing, too.
Yeah, it's
You go
kinda,
speed, you go to
at this point it's kind of pointless to do a.
math.
If you're gonna buy a new ECU, you know,
Why
might
are
as
you
well
going to
get the
buy a
map one.
Z32 math? Yeah, type of deal.
So now he has that set up with 750cc injectors, a S15 ball bearing turbo. The car made 300 horsepower, 300 foot-pounds of torque, something like that.
Because it was running kind of funky for a little while.
Was it?
It was like,
Oh, yeah, we had some ECU problems.
yeah, a little ECU problem.
That was before the Power FC. So now he's got 4 boost. He's got 4 boost levels, and the lowest one is 250 horsepower.
You would adjust those on the fly.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So now he's able to go out, practice on the 250 because he's got to get comfortable again. And then once he's good, he's going to move it up. And then
Sweet.
we can all drive together at 300 because that's what Miyagi makes too. Yeah.
300.
What was your other question? Oh, why'd I go with the...
Yeah, why'd you go with the stroker? Because now, okay, so you personally went through that setup.
Yeah, that setup was good.
And you drifted on that for a while. Like these photos you have in the office, this is that setup.
Yeah, it's all that.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't have done anything if I didn't blow the motor up.
Really?
Yeah, I would have definitely not done
You would have
any
just
of that.
kept.
I would have changed the exhaust manifold from the stock one.
Yeah. Because
And that would've been-
episode 1, I think we covered that you ran a stock one, but you welded an external wastegate on
The
it.
external wastegate, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Who does it? Cody Ace?
I don't remember.
Cody Ace, the guy who makes the brackets.
Yeah.
Cody Ace can modify your manifold so you put an external wastegate on it. But I
Cody
also have
Ace
one
is a
for
name
sale.
I haven't heard in
so-
a while. Oh
Yeah,
my
he makes those
gosh.
AC brackets.
He did. He made AC brackets and radio panel deletes.
Yeah,
Or little brackets for those too.
I remember I wanted to, before I knew what was wrong, I thought maybe it was a head gasket. So I was like, oh, I'm going to use a Silk Road exhaust manifold. And
Oh yeah. Let me just got a Silk Road exhaust manifold
I have one in
from
my
the
bedroom.
store. Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
I brought
Yeah.
one already. It's in my bedroom. But,
A Silk Road manifold, for those who are listening who have no idea what that is, it's a very fancy looking tubular style
Equaling.
equal length manifold.
so I was going to do that, get rid of the external wastegate because it was too loud. And that was it. And then get a retune, and that was it. Then me and Ethan took apart the engine, and there's a lot of detonation. There was cylinder head damage. A piston was cracked, I think. And then I decided, okay, I got to rebuild this now.
Wait, this was after which event? Did you go to an event and then it started running all weird? and
Freedom
then-
Moves is when it happened. I was
Freedom
just
Moves.
drifting with Josh, and then it popped. Well, I heard something, and then it lost power, and it was just trailing smoke. And cylinder
You
one,
pulled in right away.
Yeah, cylinder 1 was filling with oil, like bad. So we just turned it off, and that was it. And then I didn't drift for like 3 years. So I had to rebuild it. I talked to JP. What's his Instagram? JP.
S14.
JP S14, something like that. But anyway, he's been building a lot of SRs for people, and I could tell that he's very passionate about what he does. So I decided to go with him. As far as a machine shop, yeah, JP underscore S14. He's probably booked for the next year, but you can try to bring your shit to him.
And he's across the country.
He's in Connecticut.
Oh no, he's
Yeah,
not,
he's
in
driving
Connecticut.
distance from me, but it's not fun. It's like 2 hours.
What did you have to do that was across the country again? I forget.
Oh,
You did something
well,
with
that's-
this engine. Is it
You
classified
know, this
information?
was one of the questions we got, so maybe we should go into it right now.
Yeah, you want to bust out into the questions?
What was
not one of those questions.
Oh.
This is from
Last week?
We just got a random one. Where is it? Oh, you have it, Malcolm, on the. There's so many tabs open. But yeah, I forget. Just mention his name if you can think. He's asking me about my 2.2 build. But
Oh yeah. It's JimJam_15.
Yeah, he was in-
He's just asking about more info about your 2.2 build.
and I think he sent me some stuff. He's doing some crazy. Oh, he has a TD06 too on his SR. But yeah. So anyway, I sent JP some pics. He was like, okay, it needs to be sleeved. I was like, okay, now I got to sleeve the engine. So that's a big.
Because you damaged a cylinder wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like a big deal, I would say. No one really wants to do that. But I was like, okay, so I already got to do that. So I started looking up sleeves. Wow, HKS makes some sleeves. That's cool.
Sold.
Because I'm a nerd. So I'll get those. And then I'm
fanboy.
like, okay, I'm going to need rods and pistons. Let's start pricing this out. Well, who makes rods and pistons from Japan? Because I really don't want to buy some American shit. Which is ridiculous to think, but I'm a nerd.
Well,
Like I
what's
said.
the equivalent, the American equivalent, like Manly or something?
CP pistons,
Manly.
Eagle rods. That's a good
rod.
combination that always works, but I'm not
Okay,
going to
so
do
you,
it for
you,
no
you
reason.
jumped over those.
And I was like, oh, HKS makes a stroker kit. Oh no, I was like, oh, they make a. I think they made pistons and rods, but like I wasn't sure if they were stock or not. I was like, and then I started pricing out the 2.2 kit, and I was like, this isn't really that much more, like compared to what I'm spending.
And you were going to do it anyway.
And then Turn 14 had one in stock, and I was like, okay, now it's over. So saw that, and I was like, all right, fuck it. I guess I'm just gonna do this. Not really thinking of
the work that's going to come with it.
kind of the power that's gonna come with it, because
Really?
I don't. It's like,
What
what
do
was
you-
I gonna do? Put a T28 on a 2.2?
No.
Like just now, I'm gonna have to change the turbo.
Okay. So
But I didn't even think about that.
what are you running now? TD06? You just mentioned
Yeah, we got the
that.
new Greddy TD06 top mount RX series turbo. It's literally sitting over there. But
Is it that one?
yeah, so that decision came later, because I was like, I ordered the parts, whatever, got it here, dropped the engine off at JP. He started tearing it apart. He had to check to see if the cylinder head could be used. He repaired the cylinder head and had a lot of damage on it, and he repaired that. I sent all the internals out to, I don't know the name. I think it's just WPC treatment in California. If you
This
look
is
that
the
up, you'll
thing
find
that I
it.
remember you telling me about.
Yeah, I watched some videos on WPC treating, and it like blew my mind.
It's a coating.
Yeah, well, no, it's not. I think it's a very subtle bead blasting type technique. It's very weird.
But the end goal, so the end result of this treatment is it makes it slippery?
Yeah, it takes some friction away. What is it? How would you word that? I don't know, but
I mean, that's pretty good right there. It takes
Yeah.
some friction away
yeah,
in a way that...
But it also, it's just crazy how it works, because in your mind you're like, oh, it's like a bead blasting setup, so that means it's going to remove material.
Yeah, clearancing problem. now.
Exactly. But apparently that does not happen.
What, like it evaporates on impact or something?
I don't know how
They
it works. It's just
changing
so
the molecular makeup of the.
dude, it's crazy. It's so subtle. It's so subtle. It doesn't change the clearances of the parts. So I know I skimped on some stuff.
You?
The only reason I did is because I wanted the HKS brand to be on the rod. I think something. I skimped on something because I was like, it's branded and I wanted to stay there.
I seen a picture of them.
Yeah,
Where it does have a little badge that says HKS on the rod
yeah,
itself.
but you could literally do everything on the inside of the engine and it would help. Like the bearings, you could literally WPC treat the bearings, and they were like, yeah, it won't change anything.
Is it so that the oil flows better around the metal?
Oh, it will, yeah, but it like I said, it reduces friction.
So your goal here is to make a not indestructible.
But yes, yeah, I was trying to do as much as I could
as you can.
to make it strong.
Because the average human isn't going to think like, oh, WPC coating. Like they probably use that on a whole other load of kind of applications. And here you are, like dropping off SR parts.
Oh well, actually, they do a lot of engine parts. But yeah, you could check it out. It's not that expensive either. So
Really?
yeah, if you're thinking about building an engine that you want to take care of, definitely consider this. But yeah, I sent a lot of stuff out. I also got HKS valve springs, retainers.
A head package from HKS
Yes.
as well?
Yeah, the
Oh my
rocker
God,
arms.
Frankie.
Yeah, the rocker arms,
Yeah.
cams. We are going to try to do the different cams this time, 256 and a 264.
Different intake and exhaust?
Yeah, I want to try it and see how it works.
That was a weird thing back then. That was a hot cam.
Yeah, I seen people do it, and I talked to Josh from Proceed, and I remember I was talking to him one night before I ordered it, and he was like, "Yeah, do it. Let's try it out. And I was like, "All right, fuck it, let's try it out." So we'll see how that runs.
What
if
is
it doesn't,
the effect of that, essentially? You're going to have higher lift on the intake side?
I honestly don't remember from my research, but I'm pretty sure the whole point was faster spooling on the exhaust side, but
More air?
less lag on the. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
We're just gonna try it out.
Yeah, I mean,
If it doesn't work, then
very unlike you, I must say.
I'm a little concerned about it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it sounds like you're concerned. I can see it also in your face, and if you're tuning into the YouTube channel, you can see Frankie's face.
Yeah, I'm a little. It's a little scary, but
Yeah, it
it's not
sounds
like it's gonna.
scary.
It's not gonna damage anything because we'll be able to figure it out while we're tuning it.
For
if
me
it's not
personally, when you get into the you're sleeving it now.
It's sleeved, yeah.
That's the scary part for me.
Yeah, we sleeved a couple blocks here already, at least one. So I'm not really.
Really?
I'm kind of used to it. It's not that wild. For the machine shop, it probably is. But yeah, we're kind of used to it.
I feel like we're all. I'll speak for us as a group that we're all excited for you to.
I'm excited to see this engine in action.
Yeah, no, and aside from that, the build process alone, it doesn't sound like an off the shelf kind of thing. Like you'll probably see this once.
JP was really excited about this too, so I'm glad. He took a bunch of awesome photos. They're on my Instagram, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah, turbo kit, brand new Granddaddy TD06 RX Series 20G turbo, top mount. I went with that because it was, I guess, easy. Because originally I wanted to get I don't remember the name of the turbo. It was a HKS. It's a pretty popular turbo, but it's kind of big.
Like a 20G?
No.
I don't know what a 20G,
No, 20G is what I got. 36, maybe a 36 or something. It was like a little big, but it was such a cool setup.
I mean, you're running bigger displacement though. Maybe
Like with the manifold was but it was old. It was obviously used. You can't buy these anymore. So that was
that was the caveat where it was.
Yeah, I think I bid on it, but I lost the bid. And I think I knew who. I forget who got it. Some YouTuber bought that turbo, I think. But yeah, so I ended up going with the Granddaddy setup. I wanted a full HKS setup, but
Yeah, I can tell.
Whatever.
Yeah, that probably disappointed you a little bit.
a little bit. But the TD06 is such a good sounding setup, like it.
And to add, not to be weird, but yeah, I like HKS. I love HKS.
Yeah.
I like everything about them. I like the history that they have. I like the kind of stuff that they did in the past. I
mean,
love
that's like
HKS.
one of the best brands, out there right now.
Yeah,
All right, well, I guess we dived into a lot of SR stuff.
it's dove.
Okay.
We dove.
Okay, we
We
dove.
delved. We divid.
We did the thing.
We did the thing.
But there'll probably be another episode on SRs. I feel like we could talk about this for a while.
We could. I honestly wasn't expecting us to go this long talking about it, but I kind of had a feeling this would happen.
Yeah.
'Cause we all had an experience of our own, and clearly, I mean, you had.
I guess when my engine's done, we'll do another SR.
That'll be an exciting moment, and that won't just be documented on the podcast. That'll be documented on all types of media,
Yeah,
aside
right.
from the Instagram.
Do you have any more questions there?
I did have one last one. Is
Okay.
the SR you're building now? Is this the Granddaddy?
Yes, this is the
This is
Granddaddy.
the Granddaddy. All right,
Yes,
that's
this
literally
is
the last one.
This is
Just
the final form.
Just for proof, I'm showing Frankie my notebook here. The last question literally says, "Is this the Granddaddy?"
I mean,
And I think that we're all excited for it, dude. I'm so excited for you to experience it. I'm just excited to fucking
kind of
watch
scared
this thing.
because everyone's hyping it up.
Everybody's.
I'm
hyped for
scared
it.
as hell.
I'm a little
Dude,
scared
people
now.
around the country, people who would come up to me and said, dude, awesome podcast, which, by the way, thank you guys so much. We've gotten some awesome feedback from you guys, and that's honestly what drives us to keep doing these every week. I drive an hour over here to see Frankie's face, like,
Yeah.
and it's
I have to
real.
deal with Carl every week. It's crazy.
It's amazing. I love it. But no, thank you so much. But people were like, "Yo, thank you for ragging on Frankie about his car. I can't wait to see that thing." And I'm like,
That's funny.
"What?"
Frankie's car is literally going to be a panty dropper. There's
I don't know about all that, but maybe a pants dropper.
going to be grown men dropping their drawers for this car.
Yeah, grown men. Yeah,
Your DMs
keyword
are gonna
men.
be filled with so many dudes.
All right, so we got some we asked if anyone had questions on Instagram.
Oh,
Most of them were about our penis sizes, so
What?
we're gonna ignore those probably. But let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got, Malcolm.
Question by our boy Terry the Oyster is our customer Terrence. He has a beautiful S14. He says Harley Davidson lowrider or S13. Frankie's single choice. What would you choose, Frankie?
Specifically, Frankie.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he saw my bike.
He knows Frankie likes Harleys.
I'm obviously just gonna go with the 240.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell the listeners what kind of bike you drive. Ride.
Harley Davidson Lowrider 2019. I love motorcycles and I love them a lot more than cars right now. But at the end of the day, drifting is fun, so gotta stick with the 240. What else? We got more questions here.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're trying to find a nice juicy one.
You can
Oh, okay. I like this one actually. At Sir Marty of Donks asks, "What?"
Wait.
That's Matt from Footloose.
Oh,
Shout out to Matt. You have an awesome Instagram name. I don't know how you got that one, but how did you go from being a valet to a shop owner? And I kind of want to finagle this around, like what made you want to start this business.
Yeah,
You
make
know,
it
like,
make it a long story
make it-
short.
Make it a
Yeah,
long
I know.
story
I'm like,
short.
this is like insane.
Yeah, we could dive into this another day.
You had a drift. You had like a team, and then you were like, let's just fix some shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I just well, I didn't just valet cars. I worked at Nissan too. I think I worked at Nissan during valeting cars, and then got fired from there, and then worked at another Nissan dealership. But anyway, yeah, we I don't know. I liked cars. I was getting into it. Started working on some people's cars.
And you saw a future. You saw a possibility.
Well, then I started selling parts. That was the key.
What?
Yeah, I started selling parts. I got some accounts. I was that guy that all the businesses hate right now. That guy in their parents' garage selling parts that doesn't have a shop. That was me. I was that guy.
What kind of parts are you selling here?
Car parts.
Like any car parts?
Anything. I had accounts.
What?
Yeah, I had accounts.
Come
with
on down to
wholesalers.
Frankie's Car Part.
Yeah, literally. Well,
What?
I had the website. The website was up in 2012.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I love finding out new stuff about
And then that
our
was-
Lord and Savior Frankie Bovino.
Yeah, so that was the
Messiah.
start. That was the start. So
Wow. All right, cool. So this one's a good one. At M3TISX. I don't know how to say that, but when can we expect some new merch? You got anything cooking?
yeah, there's 2 new shirts coming out. They're going to be styled exactly like the last one that was AJ's car. It's just going to be some other cars at the shop. Those will be done for, what is that event?
Refest?
Weekfest. Weekfest in
Weekfest.
what? Where is it?
Edison.
Edison.
It's Weekfest, Edison. August
Convention Center.
Yeah.
Something
Edison,
Convention Center.
Edison Convention Center, August 26th. It's a Sunday.
Yeah. So we'll have the merch then, and it'll be on the website too, obviously. But we do have a new shirt up there right now. It's AJ's car. It's a really awesome shirt.
I love it.
Crazy
personally.
detail on it.
Crazy detail on
Yeah.
it. Like for those.
Who made that shirt?
Yeah.
Who made it? Oh, Panther Printing.
No, the designer. Who designed that shirt?
I wish I could tell you.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
forget his name.
But no, super dope shirt. Next question here. This is from our boy Nick. What are your opinions on Crocs?
Oh, dude.
Okay. next.
Wait, my opinion?
Yeah.
I hate those
I
things.
don't like them because I feel like I look like a goofball in them.
What is it?
What,
No,
what's
I
it?
was looking at the picture of Chris with the alignment sheet.
Give me another one.
Let's see.
He said hit him with another one.
Oh, this is a kind of good
This
one.
one, this one actually we're planning another podcast episode for. It's From 89 Kev, any opinion on uncommon drift cars? Is it worth the hassle to figure out the right setup? That's a planned podcast episode, I think, in the future,
Yeah, I
near
think
future.
You said you wanted to.
Yeah, I
talk
definitely
about
wanted to explore the possibilities of other platforms. We always talk about S chassis, we talk about Zs, we talk about FRSs. But at that Evergreen event from episode 2, there was a Chevy Caprice on grid. Okay?
that.
No.
That was Malcolm.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. It had the cop lights on it. I'm on grid. I'm tired at the end of the day, and these cop lights are on, and I keep tweaking out because I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh no, there's a cop behind me. But he was getting it, man. So definitely a near
Yeah,
near future.
we're gonna have an episode on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So don't worry about that.
Do you want to do a silly one?
Sure, yeah, let's hear it.
No schlongs included. At Skyligren, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering that. But would you rather eat chocolate that tastes like shit or shit that tastes like chocolate?
I'm gonna go with the chocolate. I'm gonna eat the chocolate.
All of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm not gonna eat a piece of shit. I'm gonna eat a piece of chocolate.
Yeah, that looks like
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not gonna be like, yo, shit right there. I'd rather eat that. I'd rather eat your dookie because it tastes sweet. I'd rather eat sour, bitter chocolate
Yeah, like what?
than sweet shit.
We have another one here from Noli Wop. Who has the fastest car? And I'm just gonna say Chris, just because your car is foot powered right now.
I don't know. I drove AJ's car the other night.
Ooh,
Yo.
you think? Oh, I
fast.
forgot
AJ
AJ's
doesn't
car.
even know
And then
yet.
Miyagi's car too.
Yeah.
AJ's car is fucking fast.
The people
Oh.
love Miyagi's car, man. Just the
Miyagi's car is not fast because it weighs 8,000 pounds.
it does, but it's
It
the
sounds fast.
I like it just
Yeah.
because of the combination of culture. There's so much detail in that car. If you guys see it at the booth or anything, make sure to really check that thing out.
Check that roof out.
Check that roof out. That work on there. Where'd the work get done?
Painted by Ed is Peachy.
Ed is Peachy on Instagram.
He does a lot of nice painting.
If you got a motorcycle, send it his way. He doesn't want your car, but if you got a motorcycle, he'll work on it.
Another one from Sir Marty of Donks.
Oh boy, here we go.
When you're done with your car, what's the first event you're hitting?
Island Dragway's got some events, right?
What?
I'm trying to drag that thing.
Stop.
That's the first
Oh,
event.
You said
Stop.
you said you should be able to hit a 10-second.
I'm trying to hit
quarter
10
mile.
seconds.
You are not hitting
I owe myself a 10-second car. All right. First drag race event is the first one I'm going to. Well, sorry to let everyone down. I don't know. Everyone's looking at me upset.
Nah, I mean, cool. Good for you.
I
It's a
didn't,
little
I'm
different.
not building this car for no
Are
reason.
you going
I'm
to start
trying
wearing
run-
shorts too?
No. Whoa.
For those of you that don't know, Frankie doesn't have legs. He just has black jeans embedded into his skin. Will you be at Final Bout 5 from Illmatic BS?
Yeah, unfortunately, no, we will not be.
Ah,
Yeah, Simba
I was really
asked
looking
me-
forward to losing another
So
RX-300.
blowing your trans up on the way home?
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
not happening again. So
We're flying.
I don't know if it seemed more feasible, maybe we'd go out and set the booth up. But it's not really worth it to go do that.
Honestly, that was one of the most fun things I've ever experienced.
Yeah, it was fun.
from an
I wasn't
outsider.
driving.
Yeah,
I don't
if
even
we were
care, and I lost a
driving-
car there.
Yeah.
I lost a car there.
Yeah, just the fact that we all road tripped out there was
It was just
a
fun.
good experience. But
Yeah.
And then Frankie was just driving at, I'm not going to mention any speeds because we're no lawbreakers here, but man, I was
Yes, we
scared.
are. Next question.
Rear wheel drive Subarus, question mark? That's from Island Slide Cole.
Yeah, we've been getting that question a lot, Chris.
Really? Have
cool.
you?
So
I like them.
But why are they
you like
always
it?
broken? Always.
Well, the reason why I like them because Team Orange.
Team Orange, for those
They
of you who
had
don't know,
the-
Team Orange is a really old school drift team. I think they're still doing stuff.
It was a Blabai STI
Yeah.
rear wheel drive. I
Yup.
don't remember the engine though.
They had an Evo too. I think it was still an EJ in there.
yeah, it'd be cool.
Or maybe a JZ or something.
Maybe one day we'll build one.
I don't know.
they
It's,
had Evos too.
yeah, they had Evos. They were
Malcolm's-
cool, man.
Malcolm's learned a lot this podcast.
Yeah, he really did. He really did. Maybe you'll let him do some more work around the office.
No, he's like a steel trap. He remembers everything. You just got to hear it once.
Yes, sir.
This one's from Regal at Clientele.
Oh God, I know what it is.
This one's for
already.
Chris.
Oh wow,
What?
let's hear it.
Step up to the plate, baby.
I'm here.
Why do you bully Dave so much? Dave is the youngest member of Faction Motorsports here, and why do you bully him so much?
Okay, first of all, Dave, I do it out of love. But anybody that is a mechanic knows when you are new, you get beaten into the shop.
Yeah.
With a belt.
It's sort of an initiation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just shop talk.
I love Dave, man. He's one of the most knowledgeable people. I'm not even gonna
Kids.
say kids.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of stuff.
And for those who don't know, Dave is 16, working at a performance shop.
Yeah.
That's a big step.
And he's good. He's doing some real work now. Did a couple alignments. They're coming out great. So
So far.
I'll tell
Hashtag
you,
Dave aligned.
He knows more than me. I'll tell you that much.
hashtag Dave align.
Dave aligned.
And then we got a.
Hashtag Dave aligned.
We got one last one here. This one's more on a. We're gonna end on SR stuff. SR Kaz. Now you know we had a problem.
Yeah, I saw this question.
You know we had a problem with our Kaz, and we had a little back and forth about this the other day. With them being so rare, would you recommend using a trigger kit, a cam crank aftermarket ECU?
Bye.
You're talking about the PRP.
And that's by Kid Shaolin.
Do they make those kits for SRs?
I know they do for RBs.
Yeah, because it's a timing belt and no one wants to use it.
Well, they had one for RBs, and I've seen it on the VVL head, which is a variant that we didn't get into.
Okay. Me personally, I would just buy a brand new one from Nissan for $400, and that's it.
Wait, we didn't get into the VVL. Whatever. There's
I don't-
another SR20. It's a VVL. It revs super high.
Yeah, well, that's another episode.
Yeah. We'll harp
I mean,
on
I don't
that.
know shit about them, so it
I don't
doesn't
know
matter.
crap about
Yeah.
them. I'm gonna research them and I'll tell you guys about what I didn't learn from.
I mean,
the
I know they're
internet.
good. But
They are good,
But
and they're
yeah.
quite expensive and quite
Crank
rare.
angle sensor. I don't know. Kid says they're hard to find. I mean, I never had to look for one. I mean, I would just go on eBay, but
Can.
yeah. Cam angle sensor. I don't know. If mine was broken, I would just get a new one.
I would want to
But that's
buy
how
a
I
new
am.
one too. I don't like
I'm not buying used parts
deviating
anymore.
too far away from the path.
Yeah, it's just too. It's just too much. Like
Um,
you're gonna buy one, then that's gonna fail. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Buying used parts versus saving up.
Another podcast episode.
Any other ones you want to do, or is that
Yep,
it?
one last one.
We got to catch a movie, folks. We're going to see Nope tonight.
We are going to say nope.
Yep.
Last one. What's your cell phone number? No, I'm just kidding.
Was that really?
I'm just kidding. No, you guys hiring.
No, we're not hiring.
We are no longer hiring.
There's only one person I got my eye on. He knows who he is. So
If he's listening.
Are you listening, buddy?
if he's listening, but he's probably not.
I'm already here, cuz.
All right, but yeah, that's it. I guess
That wraps up this episode on SR20s at Faction After Hours.
If you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe, like the video, and share it. But most importantly, please subscribe. You guys just listen to us talk for an hour and 20 minutes, and you're not subscribed. Come on now.
and give Malcolm something to do in the office. Leave a comment, rebuttal.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about next week. In the future podcast, we'll probably most likely talk about it.
Yeah, because we don't have that many ideas right now. So
Yeah,
we're writing everything
we-
down. Everything
we-
you guys tell us.
We make these ideas on the fly. Any sales inquiries, send them to sales@factionmotorsports.com. We'll
Yes.
be able to address you right there.
That's the other thing. We got a full website with 240 parts, some Toyota stuff, body kits.
Lead time on body
factionmotorsports.com.
kits, though. I would like to let people know because lead times are long.
They're long.
Please be
So
expect that they're long.
If you want a body kit and you know you want it, order it.
Order it,
immediately.
and you gotta be patient with it, just because everybody's in the same boat right now.
The longer you wait, the longer it's gonna be till you get it. So
And thank you so much. This is episode 3, I think, right?
Yep.
Episode
Yep.
3.
closing it out, hour and 20 minutes.
Hour and 20 minutes. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it to the end here, thank you so much. It means so much. I said so much again, so much.
You know what? If you did make it to the end, just for our insight, comment, if you're on YouTube, comment Malcolm's first podcast. That way we'll know you've listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, that's how we'll know you're OG, a real one.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, wow, that was very creative. Thank
right,
you guys
guys.
so much. Have a great night
See you
or
next
day.
week.
See you next week.
All right.
Wow, we did it.